Are your bones secretly crumbling, even though you're eating clean, taking calcium, and doing everything right? But despite all of that, your bones might still be getting weaker, and it could be because of a few everyday foods sitting in your kitchen right now that are silently robbing your bones of strength. One bite at a time. And chances are, no one ever warned you. Many people over 60 are doing all the right things, but still facing unexpected fractures, bone scans showing loss, or feeling more fragile than they should. That's because bone strength isn't just about adding calcium. It's also about what quietly steals it. Here's the surprising part. Some of the most common foods in a diet, things labeled healthy, low-fat, or sugar-free, may actually be destroying bones from the inside out. In today's video, we're going to break down 4 sneaky bone saboteurs. We'll explain the science of how they interfere with bone health and why this is especially important after age 60. Let's get into it. Most people think of bones as static, unchanging structures, like the frame of a house, solid and set for life. But the truth is, your bones are living tissue. They're constantly being broken down and rebuilt in a process known as bone remodeling. This happens every day, quietly and automatically. Your body removes tiny amounts of old bone and replaces it with new, healthy material. It's this constant cycle that keeps your skeleton strong, flexible, and able to repair itself after everyday stress or even small injuries. In your younger years, this process stays in balance. You lose a little bone and you make a little more. But as you age, especially after the age of 50, that balance shifts. Your body starts to break down bone faster than it can rebuild it. And for women, this shift accelerates dramatically after menopause when estrogen levels drop, a hormone that plays a key role in protecting bone density. Over time, that slow loss adds up. First, it leads to a condition called osteopenia. That's when bone density starts to dip below normal. It might not cause symptoms, but it signals that bones are becoming more fragile. If the loss continues, it progresses to osteoporosis, a condition where bones become porous, brittle, and far more likely to fracture, even from simple movements or minor falls. The real danger? Osteoporosis is often called the silent thief because it creeps in without any pain or warning signs. Many people only discover they have it after a fracture, a hip, a wrist, or even a vertebra suddenly giving way from what seemed like a harmless movement. These fractures can lead to a chain reaction of complications, loss of mobility, longer recovery times, and in some cases, permanent loss of independence. A fractured hip, for example, isn't just painful, it can be life-altering. And yet, many people at risk are doing what they believe is right, taking calcium supplements, drinking milk, and trying to stay active. So why do the fractures still happen? Because maintaining strong bones isn't just about how much calcium you take in, it's about how well your body absorbs that calcium, how it uses it, and what might be working against you behind the scenes. Certain everyday foods can interfere with calcium absorption, block the action of key bone-building nutrients, or even cause your body to leach calcium out of your bones just to keep its internal chemistry balanced. And after age 60, your body becomes less efficient at handling these challenges. Your digestive system doesn't absorb nutrients as well. Your kidneys don't filter minerals as effectively. Your hormone levels shift. And your bones, already under stress from natural aging, begin to pay the price. The worst part? This damage happens quietly, over years, without any clear symptoms until it's too late. That's why it's so important to understand not just what your bones need, but also what's hurting them. And that brings us to the first surprising food group that can quietly sabotage bone strength. It's something many people over 60 drink almost every day. It might even be sitting in your fridge right now. Before we begin, hit that like button. It really helps more people see this video. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more practical, science-backed tips to stay healthy, mobile, and pain-free as you age. The first food, or in this case, drink, that could be quietly weakening your bones is something millions of people over 60 consume every day without thinking twice: soft drinks, including the diet versions. Now, at first glance, soda might seem harmless. If it's sugar-free, you might even think it's a better choice. But here's what's happening inside your body when you drink it, and why it can spell trouble for your bones. Most soft drinks, especially colas, contain an ingredient called phosphoric acid. This acid is used to enhance flavor and preserve shelf life, but it also disrupts the way your body manages calcium. When phosphoric acid enters your system, it can cause your body to pull calcium out of your bones and excrete it through urine, all in an attempt to keep your blood chemistry balanced. In other words, your body sacrifices bone strength just to deal with the drink. Many sodas also contain caffeine, another compound known to reduce calcium retention. So when you combine phosphoric acid with caffeine, as many colas do, you're doubling the risk. Less calcium is absorbed, more calcium is lost, and your bones suffer the consequences. This isn't just a theory. A well-respected study from Tufts University looked at older women who drank cola regularly. The results showed that their hip bone density was 4 to 5% lower than those who didn't drink soda, even though both groups had similar calcium intake. That means the soda was actively working against the nutrients they were trying to get from their food and supplements. And just to be clear, switching to diet soda doesn't protect you. Sugar might be gone, but the phosphoric acid and caffeine are still there. The label might say 0 calories, but it doesn't say 0 damage. Number 2, high-sodium processed foods. These are the frozen dinners, canned soups, deli meats, and packaged snacks that many of us rely on for quick, easy meals, especially when cooking from scratch feels like too much. They're convenient, they save time, and many of them are labeled low-fat or even heart-healthy. But there's a hidden problem that makes them one of the biggest enemies of your bones: salt. When you eat too much sodium, your body reacts by flushing out excess salt through the urine. But here's the catch: calcium goes with it. Your kidneys don't just eliminate the salt, they also pull calcium out of your bloodstream and send it down the drain. That's calcium your bones needed to stay strong. And when this happens over and over, day after day, it slowly chips away at your bone density. This effect is even more pronounced in older adults. As we age, our kidneys become less efficient. They're not as good at filtering out excess salt, and they also struggle to hold on to important minerals like calcium and magnesium. That means the impact of a salty diet on your bones becomes more serious the older you get. One study from Japan looked at seniors with high sodium intake and found they had significantly higher risks of fractures, especially hip fractures. These weren't people with low calcium intake or poor diets overall. The salt alone was enough to cause problems. And the tricky part? Many high-sodium foods don't even taste salty. A frozen meal or a can of soup can have over 1,200 milligrams of sodium in a single serving. That's more than half the daily recommended limit, and some people eat 2 or 3 of these meals a day without realizing it. Number 3, oxalate-rich healthy foods. This one might come as a shock, because these foods are often seen as nutrient-packed superstars. We're talking about spinach, almonds, beets, sweet potatoes, rhubarb, black tea, even dark chocolate. They're full of fiber, vitamins, and minerals. but they also have something else in common: oxalates. Oxalates are natural compounds found in many plant foods. On their own, they're not harmful, but in high amounts, especially when eaten often, they can interfere with calcium absorption in a big way. Here's how it works. When you eat a food that's high in oxalates, those compounds can bind to calcium in your digestive system. Once they're bound together, your body can't absorb the calcium. It passes right through and gets eliminated. That means even if you're eating plenty of calcium-rich foods, your body might not actually be getting the benefit if those meals are packed with oxalates. This becomes even more important for people over 60 because your digestive system is already less efficient at absorbing nutrients. Add in high oxalate foods, and your calcium absorption can take a serious hit. Scientific research confirms this effect. The National Institutes of Health and Harvard both report that while spinach is technically high in calcium, your body only absorbs about 5% of it, because oxalates bind most of the calcium before your body can use it. So eating a spinach salad may not be helping your bones as much as you think, and could actually be interfering with the calcium from other foods you ate that day. Does that mean you have to cut out healthy foods like spinach and almonds completely? Not at all. But moderation and smart pairing matter. Here are a few tips to make these foods safer for your bones. First, rotate your greens. Instead of using spinach every day, try low oxalate options like kale, arugula, or bok choy. These are still packed with nutrients, but they don't interfere with calcium absorption. Second, consider boiling spinach if you eat it often. Cooking helps reduce the oxalate content significantly. The takeaway here is simple. Even healthy foods can quietly rob your bones of support if you don't know how to manage them. It's not just what you eat. It's how often, how much, and what you pair it with. Now we'll move to a more obvious culprit, but one that still sneaks its way into far more meals than most people realize, and it might just be the most damaging food on this list. Number 4. Excess sugar. Most people already know that sugar isn't great for their health. It's linked to weight gain, blood sugar problems, and increased risk of heart disease. But here's something that often gets overlooked. Sugar can also weaken your bones. Yes, the same ingredient that hides in your favorite yogurts, cereals, sauces, and snack bars can quietly erode the strength of your skeleton. So, how does this happen? First, sugar increases inflammation throughout the body. Chronic, low-level inflammation interferes with the activity of bone-building cells and speeds up the breakdown of bone tissue. This means your body is doing more dismantling than repairing, and over time, that creates a recipe for fractures. Second, sugar disrupts how your body manages essential minerals, especially calcium, magnesium, and vitamin D. These are critical nutrients for bone health. But when your diet is high in added sugars, your body may absorb less of them or flush them out more quickly. That leaves your bones without the materials they need to stay dense and resilient. And third, sugar contributes to a more acidic internal environment. Your body is always working to maintain a healthy pH balance. When it becomes too acidic, often due to a diet high in sugar and processed foods, the body pulls calcium from the bones to neutralize that acid. That's right. Your own skeleton gets used as a buffering system to keep everything else in balance. It's a silent process. You won't feel it happening, but over the years, it adds up. And the problem isn't always candy or dessert. Hidden sugars are everywhere, in granola bars, ketchup, salad dressings, fruit juices, flavored yogurts, and even healthy cereals. You might be consuming far more than you think. Take a flavored yogurt, for example. A single cup can contain as much sugar as a small can of soda. That's a lot of sweetener packed into something marketed as a healthy snack. We've already talked about 4 of the biggest bone-weakening foods, but there are a few more surprising habits and substances that deserve a closer look. These aren't necessarily foods, but they show up in many people's daily routines and can quietly work against bone strength over time. The first is too much caffeine. A morning cup of coffee is perfectly fine for most people. In fact, it can even have health benefits. But when caffeine intake creeps up to 3, 4, or more cups a day, especially if it comes from multiple sources like coffee, tea, sodas, or energy drinks, it can start to interfere with calcium absorption. The more caffeine in your system, the harder it becomes for your body to hold on to calcium, especially as you age. Next is alcohol. While moderate drinking, 1 drink a day or less, may not do much harm, regular overconsumption is linked to weaker bones and a higher risk of fractures. Alcohol interferes with the function of the cells that build bone and disrupts your body's balance of hormones, including those that protect bone density. It also makes it harder for your body to absorb calcium and vitamin D, both of which are essential for strong bones. And finally, very low-fat diets can pose a hidden risk. Some people trying to eat clean or manage their weight cut back too far on fat, not realizing that certain vitamins essential to bone health, like vitamin D and vitamin K2, are fat-soluble. That means your body needs dietary fat in order to absorb and use them. Without enough healthy fats in your meals, you might be getting the vitamins on your plate, but not actually absorbing them into your bloodstream. These hidden saboteurs often go unnoticed because they're part of everyday life, but when combined with poor diet or aging-related changes, they can create the perfect storm for bone loss. The good news? Once you're aware of these risks, you can make adjustments. Cut back on excess caffeine, drink alcohol in moderation, speak with your doctor about long-term use of medications like antacids, and make sure your diet includes healthy fats, like those from olive oil, avocado, nuts, or fatty fish. Each small shift adds up, and when it comes to protecting your bones, small, consistent choices are what matter most. Let's bring it all together. If your bones feel weaker lately, it's not just age. It could be what's on your plate, quietly chipping away at your strength one bite at a time. Here's what we uncovered today. Number 1, soft drinks, especially colas. Even the sugar-free versions can strip calcium from your bones thanks to phosphoric acid and caffeine. You thought you were being good? Think again. Number 2, salty processed foods. That frozen meal or canned soup. It's not just convenient, it's forcing your body to flush out calcium, weakening bones faster as your kidneys age. Number 3, oxalate-rich health foods. Yes, even spinach and almonds, too much or at the wrong time, can block calcium absorption and leave your bones empty-handed. Number 4, excess sugar. It's not just in desserts. It's hiding in sauces, cereals, yogurts, silently triggering inflammation and acid buildup that eats away at your bone structure. And it doesn't stop there. We exposed other hidden saboteurs too. Too much caffeine, too little fat. All of them quietly working against your bone health, while you thought you were playing it safe. But here's the truth. This isn't about fear. It's about confidence. You don't need a perfect diet. You just need one smart change. Swap soda for herbal tea. Switch frozen dinners for home-cooked meals. Use greens like bok choy or kale instead of piling on spinach. Trade sugar-packed snacks for a handful of berries or a scoop of plain Greek yogurt. Because your bones aren't done yet. They're alive. They respond. And even after 60, they can get stronger if you give them the right support. So here's your challenge. Pick just one change from today's video. Just one. Maybe it's skipping the soda aisle. Maybe it's reading the sodium on a label. Maybe it's tossing the healthy bar loaded with sugar. One small shift. That's how real transformation begins. Now it's your turn. Which food shocked you the most? What swap are you ready to make? Tell us in the comments, because when we share, we all grow stronger. And if this video opened your eyes, even just a little, hit that like button and click subscribe. Join the Healthy Years Club and stay ahead of the habits that hold you back. Your bones may be silent, but they're always listening. Let's feed them something worth standing tall for. Your health journey doesn't stop here. I'll see you in the next one, where we unlock even more ways to stay strong and thrive.